National Council of Education, that is seventh commission, where Rabindranath Tagore ji proposed the establishment of our education center, that is Shantiniketan, and also there was a education policy resolution on education policy setup, which tried to focus on starting up of your universities at your town level, and also developing and promoting teaching universities, that is courses which teach you how to teach, might be your B.Ed or your D.Ed coaching. So those courses, universities offering those courses were promoted under this National Council of Education. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay. And the next important commission was your Sadler Commission, which was set up in the year 1917. It is also known as your Calcutta University Commission. Now, this Sadler Commission, it recommended the separation of your intermediate education from your degree colleges. Today, what education system you are having, that is after plus 2, your PU, your BCom is a separate college. Hence, it was this commission who recommended the separation of your intermediate education from degree colleges. And it also suggested a special selection committee for selecting university professors or your university teachers. And this commission is also known as the precursor of 10 plus 2 plus 3 system of education. That is 10 is your 10 up to 10 standard, plus 2 is your PU, plus 3 is your UG or degree. So this system was proposed under Sadler Commission. And the same 10 plus 2 plus 3 system was started in India in the year 1975. The commission was set up in 1917, but it was started in India in the year 1975. This is the major drawback of our Indian system. We have a research, we set up commissions, but whatever the recommendations, we just put it up in a bag. Later, after many decades, we pull the same bags and we try to implement it. And we found that the time is already, the time have flied already, and there need to be many major changes to be made. This happens. So this Sadler Commission proposed 10 plus 2 plus 3 system of education. Also Calcutta, it is also known as your Calcutta University Commission. Also, it suggested the setting up of Central Advisory Board of Education. Very important. Central Advisory Board of Education, which is known as CAB. CABE. It was set up in the year 1920, but it was abolished in the year 1923 due to financial crisis. Sadler Committee, or this committee, suggested setting up of a CAB, that is Central Advisory Board of Education. It was started in 1920, but within 3 years, due to lack of financial sources, this this setup was again closed. And under the Government of India Act of 1919, education was made a provincial subject. Here, the focus was to minimize the control of central government in the education system. So when Sadler Committee was taking up place, it also focused that the control of central government in the education system should be less. That is, uh, that was British pre-independence era. Rule of your central government or central authorities should be minimized for your education system. State governments to be given various authorities, or the provincial area, the governors over there should be given authorities to promote education at their level. So this was all proposed under your Sadler Commission. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And next comes is your Hartog Committee. This Hartog Committee was formed in the year 1929, and this committee focused on improving the quality and standards of your university level education. All the committees focused on starting up universities, but this Hartog Committee, it started focusing on improving the quality education and standard of your university level education. Again, this committee recommended setting up of your CAB. What is CAB? Central Advisory Board of Education, which was closed in the year 1923 due to financial crisis. This committee recommended to setting up this CAB again, and again this CAB was established in 1935 and it is existing till date. So Hartog committee recommended resetting up of CAB, and it was founded again. The CAB was founded again in the year 1935. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the next is your SAPRU committee. Now, what is this SAPRU committee all about? This committee was appointed in the year 1934 by United Province of Uttar Pradesh. Now, this committee was made by the government to inquire into the causes of employment in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, this committee was just set up to analyze which are the reasons where there is no employment opportunity in Uttar Pradesh. But when this committee had its research, it came to a conclusion that the system of education is there is a setup, but it helps students to just pass the examination to get a degree, but not practice or imply the quality education in the real life. This is the sad reality. The students are taught how to deal with the exam, learn the subject, revise, mug up the subject, write the exam, and you forget the subject. Students are aware of concepts only for the purpose of examination. They are granted with a degree, but for the avocation in the real life, whatever the education has been taught is not been implemented, or it is not up to the mark. Thus, this committee stressed upon having quality education, not only focusing on your theoretical practice, but also on your practical aspects of whatever the knowledge is being taught in your colleges. So this was the recommendation given by your SAPRO committee. And the next report was by Abbott Wood. This Abbott Wood, Professors Abbott and Professor Wood, they gave a report in the year 1937, and this report proposed that English should be also a medium of instruction in your university level. Earlier committee, it stressed upon having English education in your primary and secondary level. But this report suggested that English should be one of the medium of instruction at your university level. Today, there are many universities, when you enter up in your PG courses, especially in your PG courses, there is no option of writing examinations at your vernacular languages. This is due to this report. It stressed upon having English as a medium of instructions at your university's level. Also, this report recommended vocational trainings, that is through your polytechnics, and setting up of vocational teachers training colleges. So your polytechnics might be your ITIs, diplomas, were proposed, recommended by this Abbott Wood committee. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the next and most important committee in our Indian education system is Vardha Scheme of Education, which was in the year 1937. This scheme is also known as Nai Talim. That is, Nai is new. It is a Hindi term. Nai is new and Talim is education. So it is known as Nai Talim, new education, or basic education. The Hindi term for basic education is Bunyadi Talim. Talim here is your Siksha or your education. So new education, your basic education, or your Nai Talim or your Bunyadi Talim was this scheme, the other names of this scheme. And this scheme is also an outcome of your philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi. It might be a question, which is the education committee which came up out of the philosophy of Gandhiji? Vardha Scheme of Education. And also, it was given a shape. This committee was shaped under the chairmanship of Dr. Zakir Hussain. Who is Dr. Zakir Hussain? Or who was Dr. Zakir Hussain?
Education Minister. Educational Minister.
President.
Yeah. He was our ex-president, former president of India. This committee was under the guidance of Dr. Zakir Hussain, and here he also stressed upon the Gandhian philosophy of education, and he was a key role player in converting Gandhi's philosophy into a dynamic concept of education. Again, this scheme or this committee, it provides the fulfillment of man's need. Here it is stressing upon that education should not be a knowledge level or the application level. It should satisfy a man's need at the all the level. That is, he must have knowledge of all the aspects, might be in the terms of biological, your social, your psychological. Not just arts, science and commerce is limited up to, the knowledge is not limited up to your arts, science and college, arts, science and commerce. The committee stressed upon having education at your biological aspects, your social aspects, your psychological aspects. Also, Dr. Zakir Hussain believed that education should bring development of the whole man, not only a particular specialized part or a knowledge. Education should be in such a way that it brings development of a whole man. He must have idea of major aspects which he comes across in his life. Also, this was the committee which stressed on your free compulsory education. Hence, we have right to education up to the age of 14. It is because of your Vardha scheme of education. This was the committee where Dr. Zakir Hussain emphasized free, compulsory, and universal education up to the age groups of 14 years. Also, they stressed upon that education should be imparted in one's mother language. Not only English, there should be a medium of instructions, but also a child must be given full freedom to learn the knowledge, to learn the basic concepts in his mother tongue or the vernacular languages. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's cleared.
Yes.
This is why this committee plays a very important role in our education system in India. One main reason is Dr. Zakir Hussain have laid a dynamic foundation, and the second is it is based upon Gandhian philosophies. And the next report is Sargent Report of 1944. This Sargent Report is also known as post-war educational development in India. We had World War in the year 1938 to 1940. It was ended. So post-war educational development, how should it be? So this scheme was promoted under the Sargent Report. It recommended again setting up of UGC, and it proposed a 3 years degree course. This was the report who recommended the setting up of our UGC, and it also proposed having a degree courses, that is your UG level courses of 3 years. Also, it focused on the development of education system after war, post war. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. It's clear.
Okay. The next concept is your regulatory framework of higher education in India. Here we shall analyze how education system is going on in India, and this regulatory and policy framework structure of our higher education in India is under concurrent list. Concurrent list is nothing but in where both central and state government can legislate. That is, state government can make necessary changes to a defined state. Also, central government may act upon the universities for its betterment, for promoting quality education. Thus, this framework is kept under concurrent list. To study, there are three categories in your regulatory framework. The first is your policy making body or policy making agencies. This policy making agencies have four divisions again. The very first division is Department of Higher Education. This Department of Higher Education is under MHRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and it is also held responsible for the overall development of basic infrastructure required in the education, both in terms of planning and policy. Thus, this is where Department of Higher Education plays a vital role. It is also laid responsible for overall development of basic infrastructure in education. Now, what are the different roles this Department of Higher Education plays? It improves gross enrollment ratio 30% by the year 2020. Its aim was to improve the gross enrollment ratio, that is, increasing the enrollment of students in the universities by 30% in the year 2020. But due to this pandemic, this might make some changes, and this 30% could be stressed up or extended up to year 2021. Also, it helps to promote participation of weaker section of the societies too in the education. It also promotes your academic reforms to improve quality education. It is promoting your technology driven classes in higher education, that is your your smart classes, and to enhance the development of your vocational training or your vocational education, your skill development. This is all focused under your Department of Higher. And the second body is State Council of Higher Education. What does this State Council of Higher Education does? This states here, many states have set up different councils and advisory boards, and these boards provides guidelines. They provide rules and regulations for functioning of your higher education. And the various councils here, they coordinate between the government and university.
No,
Yeah.
ma'am, it's not audible, ma'am.
It's
Hello?
audible.
Now it's audible, ma'am.
Is it
Hello?
audible?
No, ma'am, it's breaking. Your voice is breaking, ma'am. It's
Is
not
it
that
audible
clear
now
for me.
clearly?
Yeah, ma'am, now it's fine.
Yes, it's audible.
Okay. So this State Council of Higher Education, it promotes coordination of various roles by the government, also the universities. So it lays a foundation of higher education within the state. For an example, the states who have promoted the state councils are Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Agartala, and Himachal Pradesh. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the third body under your policy making is your CAB, as we have discussed in various committees. First, it was set up, and due to financial crisis, it was closed. Again, it was set up until today it is existing. Yes, it plays a vital role in making your policies, that is CAB, Central Advisory Board of Education. Now, this CAB was set up for coordination and cooperation between union and states. So here, this CAB tries to have a medium or a mode of communication and coordination between your state government and your central government in the field of education and policy making. As I explained you, it was first established in the year 1920. Later in 1923, it was abolished due to financial crisis. Again in the year 1935, it was re-established. And the fourth is your Association of Indian Universities. This Association of Indian Universities, it has a group of universities under it. It evaluates the courses, syllabus, credits, standards of foreign universities to be compared with various courses given in Indian universities. Also, this association, that is your AIU, Association of Indian University, it promotes recognition of different degrees, different diplomas awarded by various universities in the countries, and the recognition of colleges under your UGC, New Delhi. Also, the main purpose is here admission to the higher courses, that is increasing the number of admissions to the higher courses in the universities and colleges of India. Also, this committee was earlier named as the Inter-University Board, and it acquired a legal status. There was a legal status given to this Inter-University Board. Later, it renamed as Association of Indian Universities in the year 1973. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am, it's
Yes,
cleared.
ma'am.
Okay. The next is your regulation based industries. The first was your agencies. The first was your policy based agencies. The second is your regulation based agencies. Now, this regulation based agencies are the apex level bodies, just like your RBI or your NABARD. This regulation based agencies are your apex level bodies, and it has various departments under higher education which are responsible for promoting your higher education. And these bodies can be broadly divided again into two categories. One is your regulatory bodies, and second is your research councils. Now, under that, the very first comes is your All India Council of Technical Education, that is AICTE. Now, this AICTE governs technical education in India. It was set up in the year 1945 as an advisory body, and in the year 1987, it was given a statutory status by an act of parliament. Okay, not just it provides technical education, it governs the administration of various technical institutions throughout India. Hence the name All India Council for Technical Education. And it was later given a statutory status by a parliamentary act in the year 1987. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this AICTE is also responsible of maintaining standards of technical education. And it also includes your research and training in engineering, technology, your architecture, town planning, management, pharmacy, hotel management, applied arts, and applied crafts. So, all this technical education comes under your AICTE. The second is your Council of Architecture. Now, this Council of Architecture was framed by Government of India under provisions of Architects Act 1972, and it was enacted by Parliament in the year 1972, September 1. This act provides registration of architects, and it helps to promote the knowledge of architecture, that is architectural science or engineering. And the third is your Indian Council of Philosophical Research. As the name itself suggests, like other committees, this council promotes your philosophical research, philosophical studies throughout India. The next is your Social Science Research. This Social Science Research Committee tries to have research lay foundation and promote social science subjects, that might be your commerce, economics, or the other social science subjects which are promoted at all India level. And the next is your UGC, that is University Grants Commission. You all know about UGC. This is a regulation based agency in India. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I have tried to add some professional councils here. So just try to just try to remember the abbreviations of it. For an example, MCI, it stands for Medical Council of India. PCI, that is Pharmacy Council of India. DCI, Dental Council of India. So as per the name, it is various committees or boards governing that particular area or field. For an example, when I say about pharmacy council, it focuses on your pharmacies, your distribution or your education in your pharmacies. Dental, the dental committee focuses on your dental education or your dental research. Same way, there are various professional councils which were set up and which is working and framing policies and regulations in India. And the next topic, the third level is your accreditation based bodies. Now this accreditation based bodies could be calculated in two categories again. The first is your National Board of Accreditation, that is NBA, and the second is NAC. We are all aware of it, that is National Assessment and Accreditation Council. Now this NBA, it was initially established by AICTE, that is All India Council of Technical Education, and it was also established for a periodic evaluation of technical institution, having evaluation of working of various technical institutions from time to time. And it is an autonomous body. Now it is separated from AICTE. It is an autonomous body from 7th Jan 2010. Also, the objective of this NBA is quality assurance and educational relevance syllabus. Particularly, it focuses on the fields of engineering, management, pharmacy, hospitality, and architecture. It has a mechanism of accrediting programs or accrediting of your technical institutions. Also, this NBA has recently introduced a new process where the colleges are given various criterias and they have set up parameters to evaluate the value education given in particular colleges or particular institutions. Now, when I talk about NAC, most of you are similar with it. It was established in 1994 as an institution under UGC. Its headquarters is in Bangalore, Karnataka. Also, it tries to have quality assurance, and its main aim is to focus on quality assurance in education to be an internal part at functioning of your management or at your higher educational level. It also functions through your GC, that is General Council, and Executive Committee. That is, there are two committees under your NAC, General Council and Executive Committees, which prepares policies to be levied upon your educational administrations to have a quality assurance in your teaching. And the president of your General Committee is also the chairperson of your UGC, and the chairperson of your EC is the who is the person who is nominated by the president. So the General Council member, the president of the General Council committee is the chairman of the UGC, and the chairman of the Executive Committee is the person appointed by President of India. And the SNAC is also supported by an advisory and consultative committee, which is constituted from time to time. Every time, on a periodical basis, they frame various committees and evaluates. It also have set up various parameters which tries to measure different colleges, the quality assurance education provided by different colleges. Is it clear? Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Ma'am, it's cleared.
Okay. And the three main important various bodies which are formed are IIT, IIM, and IISc. Now, what is this IIT? Indian Institute of Technology. Again, this is the apex institution for engineering education and research. At present in India, there are 16 IITs, 16 Indian Institute of Technologies. Again, the very first IIT was established in Kharagpur in the year 1951. Later, IIT Bombay was set up in the year 1958, and it was with the help of USSR and UNESCO. Later, IIT Madras was set up in the year 1959, IIT Delhi in 1963, IIT Guwahati in the year 1994, And all these IITs, the 16 IITs, are governed by the Institute of Technology Act 1961. And the Institute of Technology Act 1961 have declared these IITs as institutions of national importance. So these education system are given an importance of national education. Also in the year 2018, 2008, the government have approved setting up of 8 new IITs. That is, the recent 8 new IITs set up are Bihar in Patna in Bihar, Jodhpur in Rajasthan, Bhubaneswar in your Odisha, Hyderabad in Telangana or former AP, Gandhinagar in Gujarat, Indore in Madhya Pradesh, Mandil in Himachal Pradesh, and Ropar in Punjab. So these 8 institutions were promoted, new IITs were promoted in 2008 by our government. Also, as a part of our National Plan of Science and Technologies, 5 new centers of advanced study were set up under these IITs. One was Energy Studies in Delhi, Material Science in Kanpur, Cryogenic, sorry, Cryogenic Engineering in Kharagpur, Ocean Engineering in Madras, and Resource Engineering in Bombay. So 5 advanced study centers were developed in under IITs. And also the next is your IIM, that is Indian Institute of Management. These IIMs are located at Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Bangalore, Lucknow, Indore, Kozhikode, and Shillong. And these institutions are of excellence, established with the objective of having high quality management education. As the name itself indicates, it is focusing on your management education. So high quality management education is the key objective. Also training, research, and providing consultancy services in the field of management in various sectors of the country or the Indian economy are promoted by this IIMs. And these, all the IIMs are registered societies which is governed by the respective board of governors. And one IIM was set up, that is IIM Ahmedabad was set up in the year 1961. And during the 11th 5-year plan, during the 11th 5-year plan, 6 new IIMs were set up. That is Rohtak in Haryana, Raipur in Chhattisgarh, Ranchi in Jharkhand, Tiruchirappalli in Tamil Nadu, Kashipur in Uttarakhand, and Udaipur in Rajasthan in the year 2010. That is under your 11th 5-year plan in the year 2010, 6 new IIMs were set up at the different parts of the countries. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the last and very important is your Indian Institute of Science, which is in Bangalore. If you have a chance to visit IISS, please do visit once, especially in the month of February 28 and 29. They have a festival kind exhibition program. Yes, open day. Science exhibition is done. So please, if you get a chance, do visit IIS. It is near Yeshwanthpur, very close to my place too. So IIS, it is set up in Bangalore. It was started in 1909 by J.N. Tata. Also, this institution has been engaging in your higher learning and advanced research in the fields of science and engineering. And as we have said earlier, this IISc was the first deemed university in India. In the entire India, the IISc Bangalore was to be the first deemed university in India. And also recently 5 new institutions are devoted for science and educational research under the guidance of IIS, that is having a pattern of IIS. 5 new institutions are being started at Kolkata, Pune, Mohali, Bhopal, and Tiruvananthapuram. So IIS is laying foundation of advanced research and science education at five new institutions too. So this is all about IISc. And yeah, there are some important abbreviations which are required for your UGC NET exam. I have just tried to list few. One is your MHRD, that is Ministry of Human Resource Development. NIE, National Institution of Education. PSSCIVE, that is Pandit Sundarlal Sharma Central Institution of Vocational Education. This focuses on your vocational education, as the name itself says. And your Regional Institution of Education, RIE. Open and Distance Learning, ODL. Indian Certificate of Secondary Education, ICSE. Indian School Certificate, ISC. Certificate in Vocational Education, CVE. Research Institution and Faculty Development,